Just place a thought out there that everyone's not thinking sometimes. The main thing that I was stressing is the idea of trying love. That one by one, we can defuse this nuclear bomb of hate that we're in as a society. When you go on new creative journeys, it is exciting for people to appreciate that. Yeah. Especially if people, didn't think that it was possible. Like when I started off in Chicago as an artist, I'm a visual artist. Like I went to art school. Right. And I decided to start doing music, and people said it wouldn't work out. And then I started producing and selling beats, and I started selling beats to Jay-Z, Rockefeller, and that started going well. And I said I wanted to rap, and people said that wasn't going to work. They had this term, producer rapper. It basically meant you wouldn't rap as good as the real rappers. Mm-hmm. And, that started working out. Then I said I wanted to design clothes, and then that started working out. What's the next? What is next for you? Space Force. It's funny, in this world that we live in, there's two main motivating forces, and I tweet about it all the time. It's love or fear. And you can't explain love. My cousin is locked up for murder, and I love him. I saw he did a bad thing, but I still love him. And just as a musician, African American, guy out in Hollywood, all these different things, everyone around me tried to pick my candidate for me. Mm-hmm. And then told me every time I said I like Trump that I couldn't say it out loud, or my career would be over. I get kicked out the black community because blacks we're supposed to have a monolithic thought. We can only be Democrats and all. So, even when I said it right before I went to the hospital and I expressed myself, and when I came out, I had lost my confidence. So I didn't have the confidence to take on the world and the possible backlash. And it took me a year and a half to have the confidence to stand up and put on the hat, no matter what the consequences were. And what it represented to me is not about policies, and because I'm not a politician like that, but it represented overcoming fear and doing what you felt, no matter what anyone said, and saying, you can't bully me. Liberals can't bully me, news can't bully me, the hip hop community, they can't bully me. Because at that point, if I'm afraid to be me, I'm no longer Ye. That's what makes Ye. And I actually quite enjoy when people actually are mad at me about certain things.
Do you ever regret anything you say, or is it just like you just look at it like, hey, I put it out there, it's out there, there's no point in regretting it?
I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. Even like when you deal with schools, like you take like the slave idea. My point is, I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of a future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional, and we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. Let's start with acting, first of all. And a 2-year-old screams at a restaurant, the entire restaurant screams. Teach that kid how to act. We're all unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write. Simulation, a 2-year-old jumps on a coffee table and someone says, that's a coffee table, don't jump on that. So it went from being something that makes him feel like Superman, he's got his cape on, to something where he has to think about this person's like a family member he doesn't like anyway. He's 2 years old, he doesn't give a about a coffee or a table. And he's starting to like calculate all these things. And by the time you're 40 years old, you've got a wall full of coffee tables calculating you into traffic, calculating you into your career choice, calculating you into this townhouse that's not quite as big as the townhouse next, and it just never works. You know, that's the simulation that I'm talking. That's what I mean when I say simulation. We are too protective. We always don't want someone to get hurt. Can you imagine me talking to my publicist before I said I'm going on TV again? One of the things I think it got missed on TMZ is the main thing that I was stressing is the idea of trying love. You know, we're always, you know, pushing out so much hate, and love can cure so much. Just to think, am I moving in love? Is this out of love, not out of pride? Pride is a word that people often say in a positive connotation, but it's actually one of the 7 deadly sins. And it takes too much ownership, but you can replace pride with love. And when I see people just even like go at the president, it's like, why not try love? For one person to stand up against all odds and just hug somebody the way that Alice Johnson hugged her family when she got out of jail. That one by one, we can defuse this nuclear bomb of hate that we're in as a society by thinking of everyone as our family. And how would we treat our kids? You know, the other day I tweeted, how to not kill yourself, part 1. Because when you're an artist and you're creative and you want to give so much to the world against all odds, I was inspired after seeing this Alexander McQueen film, because this is a beautiful, amazing artist that killed himself, and he always would talk about it. He even designed his own casket, and I've thought of like casket design. I thought about a tombstone that said, "Are you happy now?" Be expressive and understand that all these people are sensitive people. Like, you get these celebrities and they get a bad photo and everyone just tears them all the way to shreds, and you forget that this is a daughter, a son, a mom, a dad. And you know, I think I fight for all of us.
I feel like you feel like being bipolar is part of what makes you brilliant, part of what makes you you, and you embrace it.
Yeah. It's not an opposite. It's not I hate being bipolar, it's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to have conversations about, you know, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being Black, because we never had therapists in the Black community. We never approached like taking medication. And I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me, because I might have never been gay. And there's times where at least I'm happy that I know, like even like for this interview, I knew I wanted to stay in a calm state, because by the time I got to TMZ, I was ramped up. So what was awesome is that the world got to really experience someone in a ramped up state. And that's when you get these comments that just shoot out, like almost like Tourette's.
Because you have highs and lows. And when you have a high, you're on a roll. And when you have a low, you're not.
Well, there's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high. Like Michelle.
Periods of depression?
Oh, no.
No. Oh.
No. Because I just say it. I'll say on real TV, like, oh, I thought about killing myself, and then the thought is gone, you know? Well, they need to be able to express themselves without fear of judgment. What I love telling people is like, who do you know? And yeah, let's go, especially Black men, but you know, I'm 41 years old, and I don't know anyone, you know, that up as much as I have, that's still as successful. So I want to prove that you can get fat, you can say the wrong things, you can piss a whole
and you can
off.
Be president of the United States.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to Top Topic Magazine channel. It is always great to share a video with you guys. I hope you liked this video, I hope you enjoyed it. So if you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video with a loved one or a family member. I see you guys in the next video.